What's up, guys? It's Julian. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make every single type of bass. You guys requested this one and it's here. I'm going to be showing you how to do side trance basses, rumble basses, sort of like a little bit more pushed industrial rumbles like the types that you guys are hearing a lot now in these 160 BPM tracks, and the hard groove rumble. All the types of basses that are really popular right now, we're going to be covering them in one video. I've also got a template which is available at the top of the description on my website, and it's got 3 basses of each style, so you can go and you can learn from them, and then also you can build your own using this template. For all of these different styles, you can mix and match them. It's really solid. Go grab that template. I'm telling you guys, it's going to take you to the next level right now. Thanks for the support, and let's dive in on the basses. Alright, so I got a kick pulled up. We're at 148 BPM, and the first bass we're going to do is going to be the side trance bass. Now, when it comes to the side trance bass, before anything else, we got to talk about the notes, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm making just straight 16th notes. Alright, on A, we're going to put it down a few octaves. And then we're going to grab the side of this and drag it over a little like that so that they all become a little bit shorter. This is very important with the side basses, right? You want to make sure that these are a little bit shorter and they're not touching each other like that, because it's going to create the groove. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the release down here, and we're going to switch this to a saw wave. Now, the reason I'm using operator is for something that I think is very important. It's not just a saw wave. It's a saw wave with the phase retrigger. What the phase retrigger does is essentially the phase on the waveform is like where you are on the saw. So if you have that constantly changing, it's going to be a really inconsistent bass wave. If you have that the same every time, so it's going to be the same thing every time. So you're going to get this really fat, solid bass. So then we got that. We're going to bring the low pass filter down. Let's get rid of this key tracking. Bring up the envelope. And there we go. Now we just want a little bit of a side chain. I'm going to use auto pan to do that so that it'll bounce off the kick. And we're going to cut out a little bit of sub as well to make sure that this doesn't clash or have any kind of mastering issues. Convert it to bass mono. And now let's play that with our kick and check it out. And there we go. We've got a really fat groove. So that's how you do the side bass. Again, it's not that complicated. I think the thing that everybody gets wrong is you need the phase retrigger. This could even be a square wave. Or maybe like some FM on the saw wave, but you just got to use the retrigger every time. So now we're going to be talking about the regular trance bass. I've got another kick pulled up here. And for the trance bass, the thing is, it's pretty similar, but I think there's a little bit more magic you can do because it's going to be a little bit more spaced out. So we're going to do A again, but see, this time we're only going to do on the upbeats. So it's going to be like that, right? So let's duplicate that over a bunch of times. Let's make this a whole pattern for 8 bars. All right, and then these, we can also drag the end time back a little bit, I think. Just like that, right? You hear the groove even before we've done any patching. There we go. And see, this note can be a little longer since there's more space between the notes. When you have the little side trance bass, you want a really short bass, right? So we got the saw wave here. What I'm also going to do, though, is I'm going to grab a cool wavetable, like maybe... And see how I'm just kind of blending that in there? Now we're going to take the low pass, bring it down, and we're going to add an envelope to it. Maybe less of the envelope. There we go. And then let's get a little sub cut on that. Use a little bit of the sub inside a wavetable, and there you go. So the key here is like we're using this other wavetable to kind of create something a little bit more exciting, and you can do that with this bass because it's a bit longer. All right, so now chapter 3, I'm going to show you how to do the rumble bass. I'm going to show you 2 ways to do it. So the first way to do it is kind of like the classic way where you're going to have a kick. Then you're going to duplicate that kick. And you could use either or a combination of both. Either delay or a reverb. Or like I said, sometimes both can be cool. Let's do both at the same time. And then you're going to distort these. And see how that's creating a rumble? Now you just low pass it. Sidechain it, or do something like this where it's kind of like a fake sidechain, like Shaper Box or something like that. And there we go. We have our rumble. So that's one way to do it. The other way that you can do rumbles, though, is like this with Ableton. What you can do is just get the warp turned on and then stretch it out all the way like that. Pitch it. And then same deal. Distort. Low pass. You can even use the reverb with this if you want. And then the auto pan. And there you go. You can see either way creates a fat rumble. It really just depends. A lot of times it's combining them too that really creates the best rumbles. Alright, time for the industrial bass. So I've got a kick. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a rumble. I'm going to go ahead and do it the way I showed you just now with delay, amp, low pass, and then the auto pan. So we get our auto pan dialed in. Again, this is a great way to kind of make a fake sidechain that you can control a little more. We're going to low pass it. We'll put the distortion on there. Okay, so you have your rumble. So that's the foundation to this. Then what you're actually going to do is duplicate it. And you're going to use the same processing, but now change this to a band pass. Right? And you can even process it more, like maybe distort it. And like blend that. Maybe we could do a little LFO on the filter. And then a high pass at the end. There we go. But then the thing with the industrial rumble is it's not just a rumble. It's also going to have some group processing. So then maybe on this whole group we could put a little bit of pedal. You know, and it's going to start to become its own thing. A little bit of amp. And there we go. So that's how you do the industrial rumble. And now it's time for the final boss, the hard groove rumble. So we're starting with a kick. And now what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate the kick and we're going to create one of those warp rumbles I showed you. Pitch it down and filter it. I'm not going to worry about reverb or anything. We just want a nice deep bass note. So you don't really want it to be like too reverby. Plus this way it's going to be nice and just steady every time. So we got there kind of like our foundation. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to go and get a 909 tom. Like I'll show you like one of these, which you definitely have. Right? One of these. And what we're going to do is we're going to high pass it a little because we don't want it to get in the way of the rumble, but it's going to be down there in that range. And now we're going to throw in some notes on that are really repetitive. Copy the auto pan onto there, very important to make it all groove, and let's low pass it a little. Pitch it down a little. And there you go. Now you could even, if you wanted to, kind of take this into the industrial rumble place, like maybe duplicate this kick. Do like 16 notes. You know, it all just really depends on what you want to do, but that's how you do the hard groove rumble. It's essentially a rumble, and then there's going to be a bit more movement from this tom. And there we are. So that is how you do every type of bass that's really popular right now in one video. Once again, guys, you can get the ultimate bass template with everything you saw in this video, plus more templates for each style. The link is right at the top of the description on my website. Don't miss it, guys. Get it while it's available. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. Every little bit helps, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.